Hidden treasures. From the crater of Maui's majestic Haleakala volcano to the beaches and ocean floor ringing the island, one thing is universal: sand. There's sand on the moon, too. In 1969, NASA launched Apollo 11, the first of 6 missions that landed men on the moon. When the rocks and sand that the astronauts collected were analyzed, they were surprised to discover that the minerals on the moon were the same as the minerals that make up the crust of the Earth. Scientists theorized that a small protoplanet collided with the young Earth, and the debris that was flung into space came together to form our moon. The sand grains in Haleakala crater look like the grains of sand collected from the Sea of Tranquility on the moon. Both environments were formed from volcanic lava flows. But some grains of sand from the moon have microscopic holes never seen in terrestrial sand. They are created when tiny grains of dust hit the lunar surface at speeds of up to 20,000 miles per hour, vaporizing the sand and melting the grains into tiny ring agglutinates. Stillness. Haleakala crater has been called the quietest place on Earth. The sheer walls of the crater buffer external noise. The spaces between the grains of sand form tiny pockets that help absorb any sounds that might be created. The stillness is close to the absolute silence that is experienced when walking on the moon. The sand beneath our feet is beyond our notice. It is so plentiful, so common, it becomes invisible to our awareness. It is only when we look closer under a microscope that we realize every grain is a shimmering gem. But the crater is not the only place you'll find sand on Maui. In fact, it's everywhere. Powerful waves continually tumble each grain of sand into tiny, polished jewels. The diversity of sand on the Hawaiian Islands is extraordinary. The sand here at McKenna Big Beach is just a few hundred yards from McKenna Point, but the sand grains found there are remarkably different. Most grains of sand are made of different minerals originally formed from the cooling of lava and magma. Not all grains of sand are mineral in nature. Sand can also be formed from the eroding remnants of biological organisms. Some of the most beautiful sand grains. Not all grains of sand are mineral in nature. Sand can also be formed from the eroding remnants. Not all grains of sand are mineral in nature. Sand can also be formed from the eroding remnants of biological organisms. Some of the most beautiful sand grains are formed from the erosion of coral, shells, sea urchin spines, and sponge spicules. Maui's Hamoa Beach contains a beautiful combination of mineral biological sand grains. When we walk along a beach, we are treading upon years of geological and biological history. Sand is everywhere. Planets and moons are made of sand. Mountains rise out of the ocean and erode into grains of sand. A great poet once challenged us to see the world in a grain of sand. Where better than Maui, a place sometimes seen as a paradise, to make this priceless discovery in the sand beneath our feet?